Okay. So Tyler, what are we making tonight?
Tonight we are making maple glazed chicken, roasted chicken, and garlic green beans with mashed sweet potatoes.
Sounds delicious. Mona, have you ever had a sweet potato before?
Years ago.
Jeez, Louise. Well, tonight is the night.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get started. What's first?
Alrighty, we're gonna start by getting our hands and our veggies washed, rinsed. Oh yeah. Oh, also need your cutting board here.
Okay.
Alrighty, we're gonna get started with that. I gotta take a step away and rinse these real quick. I'll be right back.
So rinsing the sweet potatoes. Hi, Gina. Welcome.
Alrighty, now we're gonna peel them.
Why would you rinse them before you peel them? What does it matter?
It doesn't really
Oh.
do also.
Okay, no, I think that's smart because you could like get the germs onto the skin. So welcome, Gina. We just got started and Tyler washed the sweet potatoes and now he is peeling them. If you have a potato peeler, great. And if not, you could always just do this with a knife. The smaller the knife, the better.
Paring knife.
Yeah, it's called a paring knife. If you have like a knife kit, it probably comes with one.
Okay. I need something to put my
And sweet potatoes. So I was looking it up earlier. So sweet potatoes are actually not really potatoes. They're in two totally different families of vegetables. So the potatoes that we know and love are actually in the nightshade family, which means that they are related to tomatoes and peppers and eggplant. And these are in the morning glory family. So they're in completely different families, even though they both grow underground and they both have a lot of similar nutrients. But the biggest difference is you're going to get a ton more vitamins with your sweet potatoes, especially vitamin A. Eating one serving of sweet potatoes, which is probably like a cup or something, is your entire vitamin A needs for the entire day. So vitamin A, what does that even mean? Usually you can guess what has vitamin A in it by the color. If it's orange or red vegetable, it probably has vitamin A. And like the most like famous example of what it's good for really is eyesight. So sweet potatoes, really good vitamin A, very good for your eyesight, very good for your skin. Otherwise, they're really similar to regular potatoes in terms of like fiber and calories and protein. It's almost identical to regular potatoes, but really they just soar in the vitamin A area. So they're also delicious. They're a little bit sweeter. They have a kind of fun flavor. They add some color to your plate, which is always a good thing too. So Tyler's just peeling them off. I believe the skin is edible, but most people don't like it.
All right, as soon as I discard this, we're gonna get them chopped cube size, 1 inch diameter.
Yum.
We're gonna cut them that way so it'll be easy to fish them out after out the boiling water. Because we're also gonna cook our green beans in the same water as this.
Nice.
It'll add a little bit more flavor to our green beans a little.
Welcome, Jennifer.
Hello. I'm a little bit late.
Thanks for joining us. so just to catch you up, Tyler Johnson is here. We are making sweet mashed potatoes right now, or mashed sweet potatoes, I guess. The first thing he did was wash them, and then wash them, and then he peeled them, and now he's chopping them into 1-inch squares.
1-inch squares?
Yep.
Here, stand. Here, stand.
Okay, I don't need any favors.
Okay.
So Tyler, if we're gonna mash the sweet potatoes, what's the point of cutting them up into little cubes first?
Like I said, to fish them out after they're done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we're also gonna cook our green beans in the same water.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyler's really good about keeping you guys from doing too many dishes. Yeah, sweet potatoes are awesome. They're really not very expensive. I feel like sometimes they're like seen as kind of a bougie food, something that like is a fancy food maybe, but they're really not. They're really not too expensive. I'll buy a sweet potato or two, and they really go a long way. They're very filling. So Tyler has put the sweet potatoes
In your medium pan.
into a medium pot so that he can, sorry, so that he can put them on the stove to boil. Because if he's gonna mash them, it's gonna help if they're soft from boiling first.
You're gonna wanna put them about an inch over your potatoes of water. Not really calculated, but about an inch over your sweet potatoes.
So cover your sweet potatoes in water. An inch underwater is good rule.
Over medium-high heat.
Medium-high heat, y'all. I always struggle with that. There you go.
I think we left it on.
We did. Yep, we left the oven on.
And while that's on, we can preheat our oven to 450 to roast the chicken.
Yeah, 450 on your ovens, everybody. Preheating now. It's gonna be for the chicken.
Those will be on for about 12 minutes.
So if you need to set a timer, you're boiling your sweet potatoes for 12 minutes.
While that's on cooking, we're gonna get our chicken going here, okay?
I also gave them 2 chicken breasts instead of 1.
This one.
Okay, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave you guys enough chicken breasts for 2 people in your family, but just make sure that you know that the ingredients tonight are not pre-measured for you. So listen to how much Tyler says to put in, because this time you're gonna do it yourself. If you don't have a teaspoon or something, you can just use a regular soup spoon. Woohoo! Chicken. Mona, do you cook with chicken on a pretty regular basis?
No.
Pan drizzled with oil here. Your olive oil.
And what's that for?
That's just so your chicken don't stick to the pan. So you don't really need much.
So you guys can see it's just a little bit of olive oil. You guys were given olive oil last week, so hopefully you still have a little bit left. Otherwise, another kind of oil or even butter will work. Just a little bit of a grease pan there. Excuse me, as much or as little as
You were given 2 breasts, right?
Yes.
We'll put
The
that-
creator gave us 2 breasts.
Okay. All right, you're gonna take your knife and you're gonna score your chicken.
Ooh, what does score mean?
That's so your meat will soak up more flavor and marinate, and it'll cook faster too while you're roasting it. That's so everything will cook evenly in between too.
Okay.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your knife and just cut like about, I'd say about 3/4 of an inch in, like that. Make about 3.
I never knew that. So that's called scoring, everybody. It's a good trick to get your meat to cook evenly. How about you, Gina and Jennifer? Do you guys cook with chicken very often?
Just gotta wash my hands here.
So chicken was like a pretty big staple in my household growing up. And the way I understand it is that chicken as like a white meat is a lot leaner and it has fewer calories. So it's a really good burger substitute. You can actually buy chicken ground up, and you can even, if the store doesn't have it ground, you can actually ask them to grind up your chicken breast. Yeah, it's just like pork chops and stuff, that's all red meat. And red meat has been shown to cause a lot of cancer, high blood pressure. 1 second. My bad. All right, so what is next?
We're gonna season our chicken. Sorry, I didn't like prepare any like odd spices tonight because I was trying to like focus on the maple syrup.
It's okay.
But yeah, just got some different salt here. Yeah, you can season your chicken with salt and pepper. This right here is the salt.
Oh, where's the salt?
We didn't know that there was gonna be salt and pepper this time, so you'll have to either provide your own or any other seasoning that you might have in the house could be good for this. Like oregano might be good or whatever.
Maybe if you have some thyme left over from last week too, you could put that on there.
Yeah, that would be delicious.
What was that?
If you have any of that green thyme left over from last week, he said that would be good on this too.
Oh, okay.
So you could get some of that chopped up and sprinkle some of that on top. Even add a little bit garlic on there to add a little bit more flavor.
Yeah. Very cool.
You could add this in the oven here, middle rack.
Middle rack of the oven goes the chicken.
We'll get that in there for about 8 minutes and we'll check on it. Maybe we might have to flip it.
Yeah.
Holes in it, maybe?
Oh,
Yeah.
found a couple different ones. All right, so Tyler's stirring. Is that the potatoes?
Yep, that's your potatoes.
Giving them some love.
Just trying to cook those until they get nice and tender to where we can easily get through them with a knife. So they'll be easy to mash. We're just gonna put them in a bowl and set them aside while we get the rest of the meal prepared here.
Sweet potatoes are actually from Central and South America. So in terms of digestion and stuff, they're gonna go really, really well for Native Americans because there were more, those and potatoes were a part of the diet for many, many hundreds of thousands of years, really. And there's like coevolution there.
All right, we're gonna half up our clove of garlic here. And I was fortunate enough to be here last week to learn how.
There you go. So he's smashing it out with the flat side of his knife, and it just peels real easy after that.
What is
Garlic.
okay?
And you guys all got a whole head of garlic, so go nuts. Garlic is so good for you.
Yep, we're gonna actually half this up there. Half
How do
will
you
go
cut
in
it?
our green beans and half will go in our glaze for our chicken tonight.
What's the problem, Gina?
How do you cut it?
How do you cut it? That is such a good question, Tyler. Do you want to do another one?
All right.
Do you mind?
Yep.
Do you still, Gina, do you still have it like this?
Yes.
So you can literally like break off just like really hard with your hand and then use your fingers to break off a clove.
Oh,
I don't know how much of that you saw.
Oh, okay. I
You
see.
just break them off like that and then Tyler will show you how to cut them once it's broken.
I messed up on my chicken.
What's wrong?
I put this on there. I put a little bit of this, is that garlic?
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's fine.
Garlic is
Okay.
I put a little bit on there.
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
And then
Okay.
now Tyler's chopping up the little garlic. So you do want to get this peel off of it. And then you can chop it like he's doing. Real tiny pieces.
Okay.
It's easier to peel off this little skin that it's in. When you cut off this little nub at the top of it, you cut that off, you smash it either with your hand or with the flat side of a knife, and then you can peel it off a little bit easier. And you get this little layer off.
Okay.
And then you kind of have the cleaner version of it. I didn't do a perfect job. Garlic is to keep your spouse away. That was a joke.
Yes. Ooh.
No, actually, garlic is so good for you. It's full of antioxidants, which means that actually so many of the foods tonight have antioxidants. And what antioxidants do is they go through the blood and they actually repair cell damage. So what happens is your DNA starts to kind of mutate, and that's what causes cancer, is when your DNA kind of gets tired and your cells get tired and they don't do as good of a job as they used to. And when they multiply, they accidentally make cancer. Antioxidants go in and clean up all of those errors. They clean up all those mistakes. So garlic is anti-cancer, antiviral and antibacterial. So it's really good for COVID-19. Even just the smell of it is really good for your senses. It's really good for not only adding flavor, but really clearing like your sinuses, you know, with that potent smell. So you can see that Tyler made 2 little piles of his garlic. He put it in half.
Yeah, just half up your clove and half will go in your green beans and the other half will go in your glaze for your chicken, okay? And I had a different version prepared tonight than the roasted chicken, but I'm glad I know both ways.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
So I'm gonna need like a little pan for the weights, like a tiny, like maybe like a egg pan or something.
Oh, hey, throw my chicken in the thing, please.
Like this?
Oh, yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Full scoop bean, you just.
We need one of these, y'all.
Yeah, that's what we'll finish up our chicken in.
Oh, okay. Oh, and then I'll need a pen, like a.
How many minutes for that?
And Tyler has not forgotten about his sweet potatoes. He's checking on them, watching them get softer.
They're just about ready.
Okay.
Close it up.
No, I did.
Okay, we'll get our green beans and the meat going.
I can't separate those, so I'll just leave it.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. Look at you go.
It was a little gap or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. All right, y'all. Green beans are next. You guys have your green beans in a bag.
Usually about a cup or so. So we're gonna have to measure about a handful or so per person, but as many as you would like, you and your spouse or whoever you're cooking for tonight.
Yeah, you guys have about 8 ounces right now of green beans in your bags. So feel free to use all of it or half of it. And Tyler, feel free to use all of it if you want to bring it home. Go nuts. Okay. I'll snack on them on the way home.
Yeah.
You can eat green beans raw if you like them. So the green beans are in the bowl.
Okay, we're gonna throw half of your garlic clove in. And if you have a little bit of your oil left over, just drizzle just a little bit of that over it.
The olive oil.
Yeah. Just drizzle just a little bit, enough to coat every single green bean in there. Because we're gonna throw them in with our chicken here.
Ooh, fancy. So some oil onto the green beans. We remember that olive oil is really medicinal, actually. It's plant-based. It has a lot of good fats in it. Salt and pepper going in with the green beans there. And green beans are part of our Three Sisters garden. So these are also native to Turtle Island, which is really cool that this meal has so many native foods, native people, native foods all together. And beans are actually really good for the land too. They restore nitrogen in the soil. So every time that someone plants beans, they're helping the soil.
Ready? We got our green beans all tossed. We're gonna get our oven mitt on. You're gonna pull your chicken out, check on it.
You want to pull it out so they can see too, whatever you see.
It's cooking just fine.
There's our chicken so far.
All right, we're gonna throw the green beans on the side of that. Good. They're starting to cook. And so about another 8 to 10 minutes, our chicken should be kind of cooked through. Yeah, it's cooking perfect on bottom too. Check on your
Sweet
all right. You're gonna wanna check on them, make sure you get a knife, can get a knife through them. I touched raw chicken with that, do not do that.
Oh.
So what we're gonna do is just, we're gonna see if you can poke either, if you got a fork or something, you can poke that through. Oh, that's perfect. We're gonna get those drained off. And also, if you don't have a pan like this, you could get this cleaned up and use this for your maple glaze.
Cool.
Just gonna get these strained off here real quick.
So he's straining out the water on the sweet potatoes because he tested them with the potato peeler, or you can use a fork. And he was able to like see that it was pretty soft. You need them to be soft so we can mash them into mashed sweet potatoes. So that's what he's doing over there, straining them. You don't have a proper strainer, a t-shirt will work. There's a lot of other creative ways, rag, to use to strain stuff. So we've got our sweet potatoes steaming.
Ready? We got butter,
We do
ground
have
cinnamon,
butter.
and also, well, that's in the oven. You can put your pecans in the corner of your pan and roast those too. I think that would be a nice addition to this
Okay.
to make the flavors of your pecans pop.
Yum. Should they mash them at all or leave them big?
No, leave them big. You want some texture along with the mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I think it called for either an ounce or so. So I'm just gonna put about an ounce of these onto our baking sheet, okay?
You guys have a little more pecans than that, so you
Yeah,
can do as much or
go.
as little as you want.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
careful.
Flying shut.
So Tyler just stuck a little handful of pecans or pecans, however you say it, onto the tray in the oven, and just in case.
I'm gonna just use wash too before I.
Do you want another knife?
Yeah, sure.
I'll switch it over.
Ready? I want to start garlic now for a cutting board.
Oh. I have more cutting boards too if you want.
Okay, all right. I'm just gonna need another thing of garlic.
So Gina, he's doing one more garlic if you want to see. He cut off the little top and now he's slicing it up.
I'm gonna use half of it. I washed the other half of that garlic off on my cutting board.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't realize that's what had happened.
yeah, so. If you already cut up your garlic and all that, that's fine. You don't need any more.
You guys can add garlic to anything. Garlic goes good in soups. Garlic goes good in eggs. Garlic goes good on toast. I can't think of anything that doesn't really go good with garlic. Because I know you guys have some left over, so
Yeah.
please use it.
All right. That little mistake out the way.
No worries. And while those beans are roasting, I don't know if you guys know this, but beans are really good for your bones. That's really good for bone health for your elders that might need to have strong bones in case they fall. Green beans are really high in vitamin K, which is just so good for your bones. It's really good for pregnant women. Any woman who is pregnant, it has a lot of something called folate, which is a vitamin B, which like pregnant women need way more than anybody else. And it's really good for irritable bowel syndrome. If you have tummy problems, green beans in moderation are your friend.
Alrighty. A half a tablespoon cinnamon.
You guys have more cinnamon than that in your cup, so measure it out. It's just a teeny bit of cinnamon.
And the potatoes?
Yep. There we go.
Where's the green beans? Are they mixed yet
They're in the oven.
with the chicken?
Yep.
Okay,
Did you see them get mixed with olive oil and salt and pepper?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could throw that in with your chicken.
What are you doing with the sweet potatoes? Mine aren't done yet, so.
Right now, we're getting ready to mash them. I put 1 teaspoon or half a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm also gonna put a half a tablespoon of butter.
Teaspoon, half a
So
tablespoon.
when Gina, when your sweet potatoes are ready, it'll be cinnamon, butter. Does the garlic go in there or no?
No. Maple syrup.
Oh, got it.
Alrighty, so a half a tablespoon of butter.
And cinnamon.
They're gonna be really good. Cinnamon is like awesome, powerful medicine too. We'll get into it in a minute, but I think Tyler's got more steps for you. Yeah.
And a half a tablespoon of maple syrup.
Half a
This is
tablespoon.
Giraganic maple syrup here. This is a great recipe, Tyler. It's a great recipe.
Like it.
Really creative, yeah.
Potato masher.
1 second. What did they do if they don't have one? 'Cause I
You
know-
can use a fork too. A fork would be perfect too. Any way you would mash potatoes at home would work for these.
So he's got like a real masher, but a fork will work. The flat end of a spatula, even a whisk, anything to mash them, except for your toes. Don't use those.
You're gonna burn your little toes off.
Did you use the whole cup of cinnamon or?
No. You guys
No.
have a little bit more cinnamon than the recipe requires.
Half a teaspoon.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, that would be a lot of cinnamon.
It'll overpower the fact that we're having sweet potatoes.
So, oh, go ahead.
You got any foil?
Yes, I do.
Alrighty, we're gonna set this aside. Just gonna add some foil over the top so it'll keep it nice and warm.
So you put butter and cinnamon and that's it, and mashed it? Okay.
Half a tablespoon of butter and a half a teaspoon of cinnamon.
Yep.
Yeah, maple syrup, right?
Yep, and a half a tablespoon of maple syrup.
A tablespoon of this.
Okay. Well, that's done and on the way. We're gonna get our maple glaze on the way. And we're just about ready to put everything together. Our chicken's about 3/4 of the way done. Our pecans are roasting. You could maybe pull it out and toss your veggies around a bit. Just check on everything here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good tip from Tyler for those of you who might be beginning cooks, is that it's really a dance between the timing of everything. It's always about figuring out, what's still in the oven, setting timers, keeping an eye on everything. He is a very good multitasker. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Okay, my pan isn't even that big.
Which one, the front?
If your pan's not big enough, you could always do 2 pans,
Yeah,
right?
2 pans, yep. Cook your chicken in a separate pan or so. Alright, I kind of want to flip this and cook it on the other side for the remainder of the time.
Okay.
You guys do.
Okay. Get a little bit more seasoning on there, a little bit more salt. A little bit more pepper. And I'd say I'd give it about another 8 minutes. By the time we're done making our glaze, our chicken should be ready to pop out the oven. These are nice, coming nice and could actually smell them.
Yeah, so for those of you who might be cooking with pecans for the first time tonight, wow, are they so good for you. They're a little expensive, I know that, they're a little pricey, but they're a really healthy fat, and they have a lot of protein and fiber, so they will leave you feeling full of energy. They also are so diabetes friendly. Like, I didn't know this, but they don't make your blood sugar go up at all. They lower your cholesterol and they lower your blood pressure because they have calcium, magnesium, and potassium. So instead of drinking milk, you could eat some pecans.
You do.
I'm gonna need you a little bit closer.
Oh, cover them up. They're done.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna get our ingredients for our glaze here set up. Balsamic vinegar,
Oh.
With the dishwasher.
Maple
the
syrup.
rest of your garlic,
The balsamic vinegar has a V on it. The rest of the garlic.
a little bit of oil. You're gonna need a little bit of oil for your garlic here. You're gonna get that cooked up till we can actually smell it in the air.
We're making a meal. Go back this.
Let's get this on
Yeah.
medium heat. Okay.
How would you describe medium heat? Like halfway of the turn?
Yeah, halfway of the turn. If you're at home, it might be a 6 on there, 7, 8, or 9.
Okay.
So about 6, in between 6 or 7.
Good. So if you guys are at home, 6 or 7 is going to be your medium heat on your stove. That's good.
I need you to help me.
Get a little bit of your oil on the bottom here for your garlic.
Okay. Put a little bit of oil on it.
On the pan?
Yeah.
She just set all my shit, all that shit on my clean clothes. Who said that?
No, I just got one too.
Just use like a spoon or something.
So garlic and oil on the stove.
All right, cook this like that. Let that cook off for about 30 seconds, okay?
1, 2. Just kidding. Tyler, I feel like we're on a cooking show. Oh. All right, here comes the balsamic vinegar. Again, I did not measure this for you, so you guys are learning how to measure. Do you want to show them?
Yep. What I'm using right now is just like a half a tablespoon. So I'm gonna use it calls for 1 tablespoon and a half of balsamic vinegar. So we're gonna add that right away. Whoa.
Do we need to do something? Whoa.
I think I had it up too high.
you want to redo that?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
That's kind of what we were waiting for it to bubble up like that.
Oh, okay.
Well, I just had heat here too hot.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No. I'm glad we're okay.
Vinegar do we use?
How much vinegar do you use?
1 teaspoon and a half.
Okay.
Oh, no, tablespoon. Yeah.
Oh, tablespoon. Okay.
Yeah.
And be careful or you're gonna get a little fire.
Yeah, I almost lost my eyebrows. You can add the remaining of your syrup, about maybe you got like about 2 tablespoons.
What has?
If you bring it over here, they'll be able to see it a little bit better. There we go.
And we're just gonna make that glaze like that, okay?
Yum. This is a glaze is like a sauce that's gonna go on some of the ingredients. Probably the chicken, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Perfect. We don't even have to add this one back to the stove, but you'd wanna like add it back to get to this like silvery glossy feel.
Okay. So it's not going back onto the heat, you guys. The heat is turned off and it's just gonna kind of sit where it stays warm. I know, it's on camera. You stay cool under fire. I like that. Oh, it smells so good in here.
That's kind of like how we made our gravy last week. So it's kind of like a maple syrup gravy, kind of sort of feel. Just turned it a little bit dark.
Yeah. Gina, did you have a question?
No, you took the pan off the heat?
Yes, off the heat now.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
This is a much faster meal than last week. I feel like it's almost done.
Yep, it sure is. We're actually just waiting on the chicken now.
Yeah.
Give you a couple plates.
Yes, let me get some plates. I'll leave you guys with some here for a second.
I don't know.
Alrighty, we're just gonna get our workstation here cleaned up a bit. Almost getting ready for the final reveal. Anybody got any questions? Yeah, that's fine.
The idea of plating a meal, that's like a chef thing, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that and like the appearance and stuff?
Yeah, a lot of it is key. A lot of the key area is presentation too. Like even if you're like cooking for your kids, a lot of the time is they see what's on their plate, and a lot of presentation would help your kid or someone help them eat, gain an appetite if it looks good.
Yeah, people judge everything by its cover, right? So I don't know. I think that's like a really cool thing. I think Tyler's being really humble right now because he's really good at this and he's making really beautiful dishes and he knows what he's doing and it really shows.
Yep, our chicken is done on our end. If your chicken ain't done on your end, you might want to like just poke it in the middle, pop it open. There might be like a little red tenderness in the middle. You want to get everything like looking white as so.
Okay. Is there also like a way to test its doneness by like a thermometer?
Yes.
What would
There
someone
is.
do if they had a thermometer like
If you
that?
had a meat thermometer, you want it over 160, 165.
Okay. You guys, this smells so good. Wow.
All right. Another tip that I learned last week is to let your meat rest before you cut it.
Oh.
That way, all the juices absorb into your meat and it's not left out on this pan and for you to wash it later.
Nice.
So we'll just give that a couple minutes to just rest a bit.
Yeah, while you guys are catching up, are there any questions either about some of the health benefits or how to make it? Or maybe even about purchasing it, if you guys need any tips. I've been buying all these ingredients, so I'm getting to be an expert.
Those kind of look like the ones from Super Buffet.
Does it look like Super Buffet in here? Anyone a big fan? $15 all you can eat. Well, I just really want to share a couple of things. So cinnamon, I feel like cinnamon, I used to think only belonged on desserts, but they add a lot of depth and flavor. So if you notice, he didn't really add a lot of salt and pepper to the sweet mashed potatoes. Instead, adding cinnamon is amazing. So cinnamon is actually so powerful that it can preserve your food. It's like a food preservative. So if you add cinnamon to something, it will actually last more when you have leftovers than without it. It also has those antioxidants. So like this whole meal is basically going to prevent cancer. Like everything in there is going to protect your cells from any damage that they get. Like if you go out in the sun, you know, and your cells get damaged from the UV rays where people might get skin cancer, you have antioxidants in your bloodstream, which act like that cleanup crew. And then, okay, here's this thing I didn't know about cinnamon before, is that cinnamon is like a huge, huge help for anyone with diabetes. There are studies that people who eat a teaspoon of cinnamon a day are less likely to get diabetes. And if they already have type 2 diabetes, it actually is going to do two things. It's going to lower your cholesterol. Cholesterol is like a fatty acid that's in your blood and blocks the bloodstream. And so for people who like take insulin shots, sometimes the body resists the insulin and it doesn't absorb very much because it comes from a shot and your body's like, what is this stuff? And cinnamon lowers your insulin resistance. So if your body's like, oh, I don't know what this insulin stuff is, and your medicine's not being effective, eating cinnamon makes your insulin more effective. So it's like great for preventing and treating diabetes, not treating it completely, but helping people with diabetes. And then the other thing before we plate this beautiful meal is the balsamic vinegar. I used to only think that balsamic vinegar went on salads as a salad dressing. So I'm super curious to see how it goes in this glaze. But what vinegar is really good for is for your skin. It's going to make your skin beautiful. It's also full of all these antioxidants. All of these ingredients seem to be. And it's really good for your gut. So for your stomach, you have more bacteria cells in your body than you have human cells in your body, which I think is crazy. And basically vinegar goes down there and feeds all of the little bacteria in your tummy. So that's a little bit of a health dump. But if you were curious about why this meal is so good for you, it's so good for you. Tyler's really intentional about his ingredients.
All right, we're gonna get plating and serving done here. Chicken.
So you're not gonna eat this whole chicken breast because it's enormous. So Tyler's gonna cut it up as if you were thinking about how much a person should have as a portion size for one evening, for one dinner. You could eat the whole thing and I wouldn't judge you, but. And you can even buy actually like special plates that are sized really good so that you eat the right portions and you serve up the right portions. And my mom used to teach me that if you serve things on a smaller plate, people will actually feel more full because the plate looks more full. Oh, here come the mashed potatoes. That's pretty. Oops. So it's about a third of chicken and a third of mashed potatoes. Here comes the pecans.
And the green beans are so good, you could just go crazy with the green beans.
Yeah, eat as many as you want, you guys. Get that fiber. Get your tummy moving. Fiber is really, really good if your stomach doesn't feel good.
And I'll burn our glaze a little bit. It's fine.
Oh my gosh, you guys, he's a professional. Look at this.
The glaze goes on everything?
Just over the potatoes and the chicken.
Okay.
But
There's
if you
not too
love it,
much, but yeah, just drizzle it on.
So for the glaze that you made, what did you all put in it?
We had, let me read it up here. We had 1.5 tablespoons of vinegar, the balsamic vinegar, half of your garlic clove, and also 2 to 1 tablespoons of maple sugar.
and olive oil.
And olive oil. Yep. Drizzle of olive oil.
Okay.
And we have the instructions all written down, so we'll send those to you guys via email tomorrow.
Yeah, I made them up.
This is an original Tyler Johnson recipe, y'all. Super cool. This was made right here in Red Lake, invented in Red Lake. Pretty cool stuff.
Alrighty, there you have it.
All right, are there any questions tonight? All right, I just wanted to let everyone know that I hope you enjoy your dinner and that next week we are taking a short break from our cooking classes because we don't have any staff available to film next Wednesday. So we're gonna give Tyler a little break. It's not gonna affect attendance. So for those of you who have attended all 3 classes so far, you're still getting perfect attendance. Remember, if you attend the 4th class, that'll be on February 23rd, you earn a $30 gift card to the Trading Post. So you guys have been doing really, really well. Keep it up. Thank you for joining us. Any closing words?
Yes, I had a great time. You guys enjoy your meal. Miigwech. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is how you say them in
Thanks, guys. Good night.